Hey yo, and welcome to another episode of Advanced Glitch Building. I'm Crisscross Applesauce, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be going over a way that you can curve a series of short walls and cascade them in size and scale from large to small or small to large, depending on what you will want to do. This will require you to know and understand the mechanics behind the wire glitch, the reverse wire glitch, the tether glitch, the blender glitch, the universal adjacency glitch, as well as pretty much just having general knowledge of glitch building. I will link in the description as well as on screen a playlist called Glitch Building 101 with a series of very short and sweet videos that'll walk you through all of the tutorials that I just mentioned. So anyways, let's get right into it. The first thing we're going to do here is a repeat of last week's tutorial, in that we are going to take a synthesis core and we are going to scale them in size from normal size all the way down to as small as you can get, and from normal size all the way up to as large as you can get, which is plus 3x normal size and minus 3x of normal size. To start off, go ahead and grab yourself a synthesis core. Toggle to your wire, and just place a length of normal sized wire, just to kind of mark our central point of our scaling cascade here. And then go ahead and wire glitch a normal size synthesis core into either end of it. This is just a marker. It really isn't going to be needed for anything other than just reference. Next, with another synthesis core, go ahead and toggle to your wire. Place one end of your wire so that you have it tethered, then toggle back to the synthesis core and bring it right next to the normal size one. This is what we're going to be doing at each iteration, is rescaling this one so that that ring of light is no longer level with the previous one, but right about here, right at the top of the cylinder part of the last one. And then we're going to do a wire glitch to save ourselves a wire at that scale, like so. Now, in order to know what this scale is and be able to grab the next size synthesis core or the next size wire, we're going to have to do a universal adjacency glitch. So grab yourself a synthesis core, press your toggle edit build button and your toggle wiring button at the exact same time. If you get the timing correctly, you will have this square reticle out, but you will also have the option at the top of your screen to place a wire even though you don't have a wire out. That means you have successfully glitched the build menu so that you have a synthesis core stored in your build cache, but you have the toggle edit build menu out. Now from here, we are going to duplicate the rescaled wire that we just made in the previous step. And then we are going to do a wire glitch right here just to place a rescaled synthesis core. Now, we're going to move on to the next one. We're going to repeat the tether glitch to a wire glitch. So we're going to toggle to our wire, place one end of the wire, toggle back to the synthesis core, and again, rescale this one so it has its ring of light directly above or level with the top of the cylinder of the previous scale. Then go ahead and, I messed that up. Then go ahead and do a wire glitch, which is the toggle wiring button and the build button at the same time, to place the rescaled wire where we want it, right about meow. Then again, we're going to universal adjacency glitch, which is the toggle edit build button. And then the toggle wiring button at the same time. If you have done it correctly, you will have the place wire option at the top of your screen and a square reticle out, not a wire out. Then we can go over and duplicate our second rescaled wire and place our second rescaled synthesis core, like so, with a wire glitch, which is the build button and your toggle wiring button. You will not see those options at the top of your screen because you have glitched out the menu, but it's the same as it normally would be while you're doing a regular wire glitch or reverse wire glitch. Now, we're going to continue this trend all the way up. We should get 11 or 12 different synthesis cores, all scaling up at that increment that we have chosen for this project. So what we're going to do after we go all the way scaled up, we're going to do the same thing in the reverse, but just scaling down. So grab yourself a synthesis core, toggle to your wire, place one end of it, toggle back to your synthesis core, and then scale down so that the top of this one cylinder is at the base of the ring of light of the previous one, and then do yourself a wire glitch to save yourself a rescaled wire. Then go ahead and do a universal adjacency glitch, storing a synthesis core in your build menu. There we go. Duplicate your wire, place your synthesis core, and there you go. Then repeat the process. Alright, so here we are, sometime later. I've scaled all the way up from 3x, which is the largest you can get, all the way down to the smallest you can get, which is minus 3x. So, what we are going to now do, grab ourselves, go over here, because we're going to be starting with this one anyway. Grab ourselves a center point. And you can follow this exactly if you already have a structure pre-built that you want to build a arch like this in a specific location. But basically we're going to grab a level wire. That one end of it is the very base of this. So, go ahead and adjacency glitch, which is pressing the cycle part button and the build button at the same time. And this time we're going to go from a large floor to a small floor like this. Then grab yourself a light floor, place it in this orientation, delete the small floor, duplicate the light floor, then reverse wire glitch from this position below it with the build button and the toggle wiring button at the same time. Connect the wire that you've created to the light box. Repeat the process after replacing a light floor from another reverse wire glitch to the left of that light floor you just replaced, and connect to that wire on the near side, like so. Be careful not to connect to the base connection point of the actual light floor. Just connect to the end of the wire from your previous step. Then you can delete both the light floors, leaving yourself a short little wire that extends from the center of this floor piece to the back of it. Now, what we're going to do is count out 1, 2, and reverse wire glitch on the third one away from this wire, and then pull back and connect to this side of the wire right here, like so. So for this, we are going to have this wall start here and curve up and away. That's why we have this wire here. We're going to be pulling back to it to use as a guide to pull into a curve in this direction. So basically it's going to curve in the opposite direction that that one is. So to start, grab yourself an alloy floor and place it right here. Then grab yourself whatever short wall or tall wall you want to use. Now we're going to use the universal adjacency glitch, and then at the last step of that, utilize these rescaled wires that we have to get our rescaled wall to the right size that we want. So go ahead and press your toggle wiring and your toggle edit build button at the same time. Store the short wall into your build menu cache. If you have done it correctly, at the top of your screen you will have a wiring option, even though you have a square reticle out and no wire. But I don't have a wire out, I just have the square reticle for the edit build menu. So what we're going to do is come over here to this large wire and press the duplicate button. Now we have the wall that we selected stored in our build menu cache and a large rescaled wire in our hand. What we're going to do with this is we're going to use these grooves on the alloy floor as a guide. We're going to start parallel with our length of wire, this length of wire right here. We are going to start and try and line our reticle up and our wire up with the dead center of this line. And then we are going to pull this wire, try and place our reticle right at the intersection of both of those, and then we are going to complete our universal adjacency glitch with the wire glitch, which is the toggle wiring button and the place button at the same time. That's going to give us our first wall. Now, I always go ahead and delete this, and then duplicate and move the wire that we've already done to an adjacent row, like this, and then delete the wire. That way I know the next wire and the next size in our sequence is this one right here. So, next step we're going to do is from a wall, I just duplicate the one we've just placed. It'll rescale itself when it's green stated somewhere. Just reverse wire glitch by pressing the toggle wiring button and the build button at the same time in a green stated position at the top of this wall that we just placed, the rescaled one. If you've done it correctly, you should have a wire tethered in place up there. Go ahead and pull that all the way down to the far end of our base wire, our base structure's wire. After you do that, you can go ahead and delete the first one. Now, at this point, you can do one of two different things. You can do what I did with this wall right here, with this series of walls, and lower the wire just slightly so that there is a nice smooth transition between the outside of each of these walls. I will show you really quickly what happens if we do not lower this wire down slightly. So I'm going to wire glitch in an alloy floor. This is going to be our new bullseye, our new target for our next short wall in the series. I'm going to store this short wall in my build menu cache. Duplicate the wire. Place one end of it along this groove and pull down to the center, the perfect center of that intersection of grooves. Then I'm going to do a wire glitch, placing our second wall. Now, to show you what I mean, by comparison to the curve of walls I have over there, they are nice and flush with each other on the outside, but this, as you can see, there is a gap in between them because we are placing it basically at the very top surface of the previous rescaled short wall. So, in order to get around this, which, again, you don't have to do it this way. You can continue running this sequence of glitches and get yourself a nice series of curved walls that cascade in size, but with each iteration, this little gap is going to get a little bit bigger each time, and by the time you get up to the top, it's really, really obvious, and I did not like it. So, to show you what I did to get that curve of walls over there, you need to glitch in a wooden floor part at the far end of this wire. Next, return to your build menu, grab yourself a raised small paver. Place 5 of them on top of each other at this position here. Toggle your edit build button, pick up the wooden floor and shift it all the way to the topmost position that is available. Then go ahead and delete all of your raised pavers. Return to the build menu, grab a small timber, and place 5 of them, one beneath the other, in a row like this. Then you can go ahead and delete the floor and delete the top 4 short walls. Now, with any sort of floor, full-sized floor, reverse wire glitch from the lower position of that short wall that you placed. Not the upper one, the lower one here. So reverse wire glitch from this position, pulling the wire all the way to the far end of our base wire. Then carefully delete the top of these 2 angled wires. Now you can delete the short wall and then go ahead and wire glitch yourself in an alloy floor in the end of that wire. Now, as you can see, because we've lowered this wire a little bit, you cannot actually see the intersection of the 2 grooves that we are using as a reticle to place our next wall. However, if you notice, this wire end connection point disappears whenever you are close enough. So that's what we're going to use as a guide. If you place your reticle very close to the center of that and then zoom in enough, then you can do your wire glitch and have it almost perfectly at the center, just like if we were able to see the intersection of these 2 grooves. So let's go ahead and grab our short wall, store it in our cache with the toggle wiring button and the toggle edit build button at the same time. As you can see, we've got it correctly this time. Go ahead and duplicate the next scaled wire in our sequence. Go ahead and place one end of it along this groove. Then with the reticle, you can see the tiny little white reticle. Go ahead and get it as close to the center of the little ball part of the little sphere part of the wire end connection point, then just slowly zoom in until it disappears. Now at this point, we're pretty much perfectly in the center. So we can go ahead and do our wire glitch, which is the place button and the toggle wiring button at the same time. And there we go, the second wall in our series of curved walls. And as you can see, it does not have the gap in between the outside edges. So one more time, I'm going to walk you through the entire process. Go ahead and duplicate a short wall, then reverse wire glitch, pressing the toggle wire button and the build button from a green stated position at the top of the floor you just placed in the previous step. Pull that wire all the way to the far end of your base wire. Then you can go ahead and delete the wire that you used to place your previous short wall. Then this is where you're going to lower this end of the wire just slightly. So go ahead and grab yourself a wooden floor, wire glitch it into the far end, then return to the build menu, grab yourself your raised small paver, place 5 of them on top of each other, grab the floor from the base, move it all the way to the topmost position you can, delete all the pavers, grab a short wall, place 5 of them beneath each other, delete the floor, delete the top 4 walls, then reverse wire glitch from the lower position of the last wall you placed, pulling and connecting the wire to the far end of your base wire, and carefully delete the uppermost of these 2 wires that you had. Next, you can delete the wall, and then wire glitch yourself in an alloy floor at that top position, and now you're ready to do your UAG glitch for the next rescaled short wall in your sequence. Go ahead and delete this, move this by copying it, by duplicating it and replacing it over here, and delete the old one. Now we know this is the next one in our sequence. So I'm going to go ahead and grab ourselves a short wall, store it in our build menu cache by pressing the toggle wiring button and the toggle edit build button at the same time. There we go. Then duplicate the next wire. Place one end of it as close to the center of the groove on the alloy floor as you can. Place our reticle, our tiny little white dot, as close to the center of that sphere as possible. Zoom in until it disappears and do our wire glitch. We can go ahead and delete this floor. Go ahead and delete the next one of those. Duplicate the wire and move it. And we're ready for the next one. Reverse wire glitching from the top of the wall, pulling down, and the whole process begins again. Once you do this with all 22 of your rescaled wires, you are going to have a curved series of cascading rescaled short walls just like this. Now, as I've showed you at the beginning of this video, there is a multitude of different things you can do with this. I've only been experimenting with doing it with the short walls, but I would love to see anybody else do some experimentation with the other sized walls. Please like and subscribe this video if you would like to see further tutorials in the future, or just leave a comment and let me know what you would like to learn about in the future when it comes to No Man's Sky building. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching.